her daughter money to buy a car. And 7 years later,
there's something you're not telling me about this check and this story.
When I get out the car, he told me I had a warrant, a bench warrant for my arrest. Well, I was staying in jail all night. I have 2 young other kids that see their mama get put in the police car.
She bought my sister a car, she had bought my brothers a car, and I didn't understand why did I have to pay her back.
She just the only one got a brand new car.
I don't know of a parent who hasn't had a disrespectful teenager or a child. She's 30 years old. She's a mother with 3 kids. And you punch her in her face?
plaintiff Natalie Ravel says she loaned her daughter $3,000 to buy a car, and now she won't pay her back. Defendant Kaniqua Tisha Whiteside says she doesn't owe because her mother bought cars for her other siblings. She is countersuing for medical bills incurred after she and her mother had a confrontation.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Ravel versus Whiteside.
Thank you, Barbara. Natalie Ravel?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Kaniqua Whiteside?
Yes, ma'am.
For $4,500 for a loan and bail fees?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing for $1,000 for hospital bills?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I understand. Is Miss Whiteside your daughter, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, she is.
Okay. So why don't we start from the beginning and you tell me what's going on here?
Well, I was 15 when I had Kaniqua. I can't change the fact, I had at 15.
Right.
But I worked, did everything I could for her. I always have, for her, her husband, and her three daughters. Anything to help her, I will. And
how old are you now?
30.
30 years old? So what has your relationship been like with her over the last
it's been
several
rocky.
years?
I don't know why. I love her, but up and down. I guess because I was so young in age, and she's very close to me in age. A lot of disrespect growing up, and my parents didn't allow that, and I didn't either, but I've done everything in my power to make her happy.
What do you mean by the relationship became rocky over the last several years?
Well, just being, typical teenage, disrespectful. She lived with my parents, and, if I say something, grandparents gonna go behind you. But I'm still your mom.
What do you say, Miss Whiteside? How would you describe the relationship with your mother prior to this incident and this lawsuit?
My mom, she has always treated me differently. I don't know if it's because our age or what the case may be, but I stayed with my grandparents.
That's not true.
Her other kids stayed with her.
When you say you stayed with your grandparents, were you living in the same city as your mom?
At first I was, and then my mom, she moved to Columbia, and she then moved to Kansas City, Missouri. And I was like 16, and my grandparents sent me out there to stay with her for like a year. But from birth to 15, I stayed with my grandparents.
Okay.
So they raised me, and I feel that she always have treated me different. And she bought my sister a car, she had bought my brothers a car, and I didn't understand why did I have to pay her back. They didn't pay her back.
And so you have other siblings that you say spent all of those years living in the house with your mom, but you lived with your grandparents?
Yes, ma'am, my 2 brothers and my sister.
Okay, are they older or younger than you?
They're younger than me, I'm the oldest.
Whenever you left, she stayed with
Correct.
your parents,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you had other kids who stayed with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And when I lived in Kansas City with her, I ran away because I just felt like I was being mistreated. Like, me and my sister shared a room, and my sister didn't want to share a room with me anymore, so my mom moved me into the computer room. And it's like, whatever my brothers and sisters wanted, they got, but I had to work for it. She cleaned military houses, and I would have to go with her and clean the houses, but they could just ask for it and get it.
Do you think that you made a difference between your kids, or do you not have any idea what she's talking about?
I've never made a difference with any of them. Her and my daughter helped me clean those houses, and they were paid equally.
Are you surprised to hear what she's saying today?
No, she always say that. I went back to South Carolina to get her because her grade, she was in the 9th grade at 16, because my grandparents just letting her do what she wanted to do. I flew, got my daughter, brought her back. Within 9 months, she went from the 9th grade to 11th grader. I was harder on her, yes, because I wanted her to succeed. Can I have anything on my record? My daughter that I co-signed for, gave this money to, told me a lie, and I'm in jail.
And it's not a good check based on my experience, they're going to try to find you and they're going to try to find you. 7 years.
And they never served me anything.
You were never contacted about
No,
it.
ma'am. She still had the car. I'm thinking everything is fine.
Plaintiff Natalie Ravel says the check she wrote landed her in jail when her daughter refused to pay a loan back. She's suing for the unpaid loan and other expenses. Defendant Kaniqua Tisha Whiteside says she doesn't owe the money and is countersuing for medical bills after her mother hit her.
So back in 2006, you're working, you want to buy a car and you don't have the money for a down payment. So you have a conversation with your mother about it. Based on what I've read, the two of you have very different stories about this $3,000. So I want to hear what you say happened first and then I'll hear from you.
Okay. Well, she called me. First, she asked me to co-sign for the car. I told her I wasn't going to co-sign, but I would help her. When I get to the dealership, she had to put down $3,000 because her credit wasn't good enough. I said, Kaniqua, I call her Tisha by her middle name.
Okay.
But I told Kaniqua, I said, I will write a check, and I told the dealer, only if y'all hold it for 45 days. I said, but you got to pay me back or pay this check off. She said, I'm waiting on my taxes. I will pay it back.
So you write a $3,000 check to the dealership. You know you don't have that money in your account.
No.
But you write it to the dealership and they're supposed to hold it for 45 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Until she brings them cash?
Yes, ma'am. That's how they do on a down payment in South Carolina. And if she wasn't to bring the money back,
Who told you the dealership, that was the agreement with the dealership? Who told you that?
The dealer. And they allowed it.
Was she physically at the dealership with you?
She was with me.
And she wrote a check and gave it to the dealership for $3,000?
Yes. And they was gonna take the money out of her account and I was supposed to pay her back, not the dealership, but her back. And I agreed to pay her back.
So this whole issue with them holding the check for 45 days and used as collateral, do you know anything about that?
No.
So when she wrote the check out to the dealership,
You're lying.
Stop. What do you say happened with the check?
Well, she was riding around with the car. 7 years later, I'm driving, go through a roadblock like a routine traffic stop. He took my license, registration, come back.
Police did?
The police officer. He said, Miss Ravel, can you step out the car? I said, for what? What's wrong? I know everything is legit on my car, nothing. When I get out the car, he told me I had a bench warrant for my arrest. I said, for what? I don't do anything. Because I'm a nurse, I don't do anything. When he put me in the car, he said I could call someone to come get my car so they wouldn't have to put it in pound. I called my daughter.
So they arrest you, they take you down to the station, and they tell you it's because of that check you wrote to the dealership back in 2006.
They served me the warrant at that time. He served me the warrant. When I looked at it, I knew exactly what it was. They gave me 2 hours to get a bondsman, or I would stay in jail all night. Mind you, I'm a nurse. Can I have anything on my record? My daughter that I co-signed for, gave this money to, told me a lie, and I'm in jail. I have 2 young other kids that see their mama get put in the police car. Okay? I go to court. I go in front of the judge. He made me get a bondsman. And they had to come and see me in an orange jumpsuit because they arrested me and put me in handcuffs. I'm dressed out like I'm a criminal, and I'm always preaching to them, don't go to jail. So
what happened with the check?
They attempted to cash it, and I had closed that account. So the warrant was for fraudulent check with criminal intent.
When was it closed?
Maybe 4 months later, because that was my husband and our joint account. So we switched bank.
They certainly know where to find her because the check was used to pay for the car that she's driving.
Correct.
So someone writes out a $3,000 check and it's not a good check based on my experience, they're going to try to find you and they're going to try to find you. 7 years.
And they never served me anything.
You were never contacted about it?
No, ma'am. She still had the car.
Did anyone ever contact you?
No, ma'am.
When I went to her after
the address on your check was the address you were living at the time?
No, No, ma'am, I had moved into another house, but I'm
But
still
right,
in
when you wrote out
Greer.
the check, that address was your current address.
Yes, ma'am. When I went to Caniqua, she insisted that it was paid. She told me, "You lying. I paid it. That ain't why you went to jail. That's not true." We got into it really bad. I popped her. I did.
What do you mean by you popped her?
I knocked the fire out of her because she was being disrespectful. Mind you, I just get out of jail. You don't sit up here and have me arrested because you lied to me in my face and you're going to tell me the police is lying about a $3,000 check that you said you was going to take the money.
I didn't tell her I paid the check.
You lying.
So what
you
happened?
said you
Lying.
went down there and
She's
paid
lying.
it.
Miss Ravel, she's not arrested because you're not paying her $3,000
Mm-hmm.
back. She's arrested because they say the check was bad. So I'm
Right.
trying to understand, when she comes to you, does she say that to you?
No, she said, Tisha, you said you was gonna pay the check. You said you was gonna pay me back. The check bounced and I went to jail for it. So I told you I'm not paying you that money back. Like, you always have treated me different. And I'm tired of that. Like, no, you did for
That's the
them,
attitude,
so you're
Yana.
gonna do for me. And that's just what it is.
Yes.
So she hit me in my eye. And that's why I'm kind of suing her, because I was out of work for like a week and a half from having a black eye. She bruised my orbit, like the top part of my eye. And like when I woke up the next morning, my eye was closed shut. So I couldn't go to work like that because I work at a psychiatric facility.
Coming should be salvaged.
If you had heard the things she was saying to me, she deserved it. And yes, I might have been wrong for punching her, but she provoked it.
That she hit her daughter, but still wants a $3,000 loan paid back, especially after the incident landed her behind bars. Defendant Caniqua Tisha Whiteside says she won't pay back the loan and wants $1,000 for her hospital bill.
Here's what it sounds like happened to me. I think you wrote a check post-dated to the dealership. I think you were supposed to pay her the money and put it into her account before that check was supposed to be cashed.
Yes, ma'am.
And that didn't happen. And when no one ever called either one of you about it, and so many years went on, I think you thought, oh, she's still driving the car, no one's contacted me about it, it's okay. You finally get stopped, you find out there's a bench warrant, you get put in jail, you go to her and you say, you were supposed to give me this money and it was supposed to be put in my account. If you had given me the money, like you said, that check wouldn't have been cashed on a closed account and we wouldn't be in this situation. That's what I think happened. That's what I think happened. The second thing is, I have an issue with you hitting her in her face. Just because she is your mother, you do not have to let her beat you up. Do you understand? You don't have to let her put her hands on you, because that is not how you resolve conflict, by assaulting your own daughter and punching her in her eye. And so she can't even go to work for a week.
But she swung also.
That's not what you said.
She's very
I didn't swing.
disrespectful.
I tried to get her away from me.
She's
so
very
it may have
disrespectful.
looked like I was swinging, but I
And
didn't hit
yes,
her
I
back.
did, Your Honor.
I don't know of a parent who hasn't had a disrespectful teenager or a child. She's 30 years old. She's a mother with 3 kids. And you punch her in her face? You say you're a nurse and you don't want to go to jail, then I would suggest you stop punching your daughter, because she can call and have you arrested for assault. And I would. You wrote in your complaint, every time I think about getting arrested and possibly having a record, it makes me want to fight my daughter all over again. That's sad.
I don't know
What's your
happened
countersuit for?
$1,000
For what?
my hospital bills.
You went to the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
She had hemorrhaging in her eye. Sounds like you delivered a knockout punch to her face, essentially. Just because she is your daughter, I don't care who it is, you can't assault people.
You're right.
If you don't think they're doing something right, you cannot proceed to assault them, because you're really going to have a record. You're really going to be arrested.
You're right.
You nearly broke her eye socket. And I don't understand that. Are the two of you on speaking terms now?
Not really. She get my kids every Friday, But usually we go through my sister, so. But no, not like we used to be, no. Like it's just been ongoing problems ever since I was a teenager.
Tell her why, though.
Because it doesn't matter what I do, it's not enough for you.
That's not true. That's not true,
It's
Your
never
Honor.
enough.
Ever since she come, when I, you know, she told me before, you made me come to Missouri. This is what I told her. I made you come to Missouri because you're a felon in South Carolina. And your education means everything to me.
What it appears happened, and I just want you, you have to, something else, there's something you're not telling me about this check and this story. Because if there is a $3,000 bad check outstanding, someone's going to call you. It's a $3,000 check. They tried to cash that check on a closed account. Or they're going to take her car back. Did anyone ever take your car back?
Yes, my car got repossessed.
Because why? Because you weren't making payments?
And I called Mom and I asked her, well, they came and picked up my car. Noah paid the payment, so why did they come pick up my car? She said, I don't know, Tisha. I don't know what's going on with the car.
When was your car repossessed?
Like in 2008.
Okay, so they came and repossessed your car in 2008. Had you made all your payments?
I had.
That you would get your tax return money and put the money into her account so she would have money in her account. She already said when she wrote the check, she knew she didn't have the money.
No.
I think, stop. You told her that you would give her the money when you got your tax refund back.
I would give her the money. I wasn't supposed
and you
to
did
put
not
nothing
do that.
in her account.
And
Right.
you did not do that.
Right.
You told her you would and you didn't. Mm-hmm. You are a nurse. A person who helps take care of other people. I need for her to be number one on your list of people you take care of. You love your daughter, right?
More than anything. Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you love your mom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is probably one of the saddest cases I've ever seen in my courtroom. Based on everything I've heard today in the testimony, however, I'm ordering you to pay your mother back the $3,000. You promised you would pay her. But I'm also ordering you, ma'am, to pay her $1,000 in medical bills that she sustained when you punched your daughter in her face. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $2,000. Good luck to both of you.
Hits hard times.
We had a rough 2014 where we moved 5 times that year. We were going off faith that he was going to do what he said.
I called him and told him that everything checked out good, that I needed to meet with him and his wife to get a non-refundable earnest deposit.
Those are the words you use? Non-refundable earnest deposit? What does that mean?
And later that lasts.
I live in a small town. People were talking, you know. I don't care what they talked, is what I felt. She was having an affair with another man.
We were done. I had spent a year doing everything but tattooing. I need attention on your forehead.
I think you skipped a big part of that story. Cops just don't show up and arrest you. What happened?
Plaintiffs James and Carlette Smith say they paid a deposit on a rental house, but when the time came to move in, they discovered it wasn't ready. They're suing for the return of a security deposit. Defendant Keith Mack Jr. says he doesn't know because he turned down other potential renters, and the deposit was non-refundable.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Smith & Smith versus Mack Jr.
Thank you, Juan. James and Carlette Smith,
Yes.
you are suing the defendant Keith Mack Jr.
Yes.
for $850, the return of a security deposit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't you start from the beginning and tell me what's going on here?
Okay, I met Keith last year and seen that he was working on a property across the street. We were at the time looking for different places to move.
Is this a house that you own or were you working on it?
Yes, ma'am. It's a property that I own.
Okay, and what was going on with it? It was under construction at the time?
Yes, I buy distressed properties and then I go in and I rehab them and then I rent them out to tenants. It was a property that was being worked on. I had bought the property in October.
Okay, and you said in your answer you own about 50 properties in the St. Louis area?
Quite a few,
Okay, so go ahead. You have a conversation with him.
And I let him know that we were looking for a place, and he told us my place is going to be ready probably in May.
Okay, and what do you say happened?
They love the property. I stated to him that I needed to get a credit app because it wouldn't last long, and that I needed to get the credit app filled out and back in a timely fashion.
When did you say the property would be ready for someone to move
It's going
in?
to be ready in May.
May, like May 1st?
May 1st.
Okay.
First week in May is when he was.
Did you say May 1st or the first week in May?
First week in May.
What do you say he told you?
He said
What
it would
date?
be ready by the 1st.
Go ahead. You tell him there's an application fee.
So they took the applications. They,
How much was the fee?
It was $65 because they were married. Otherwise, it's $45 if you're an individual.
Okay.
And they
Thank you
brought
for that detail.
and I had called them back. They gave me the application with a cashier's check for $65. I called them and told them that everything checked out good. That I needed to meet with him and his wife to get a non-refundable earnest deposit for the property, and that would hold.
What do you mean by non-refundable earnest deposit? Those are the words you used?
Well, it means that I've got other people that wanted to rent the place, so it's a non-refundable deposit that, whenever they put it down for me to hold the property.
And do you know in your state in Missouri there's no such thing as a non-refundable deposit by law? You own 50 properties. How do you not know that?
It's first I've heard
There's
of it.
no such thing as a non-refundable security deposit.
First I've heard of it.
Well, I hope it's the last you hear of it.
I hope so too.
Go ahead. Did he tell you? Did he tell you that the deposit was non-refundable?
No, he did not tell us it was non-refundable.
And non-refundable earnest deposit. What does that mean? Earnest deposit.
Well, it's earnest money to hold the property. I blew off 2 other potential clients that wanted to lease the place.
Okay, so you're saying the reason why you kept the $850 is because you held the place.
I held the place for
For how long?
Absolutely.
For how long? Because at some point they tell you that they changed their minds.
Oh, it was probably within maybe a week and a half.
Well, you told me in your answer 4 days to a week.
It was a week and a half is whenever.
Okay, I'm just saying what you didn't say that in your
answer. He gave me the $850, and then it was a week and a half whenever he said that they had a change of heart and that their current landlord had a better place for them and they wanted to rent that.
Okay, why did you change your mind?
We changed our mind because we tried to get the utilities on in our name, and then Ameren UE told us we couldn't get utilities in our name because it hadn't been inspected. The electrical hasn't been inspected.
It hadn't passed inspection yet.
And that takes 3 to 5 business days, and this was a Friday.
A Friday at the end of April?
Right. The reason why we were going to move our stuff into the place is because I had a great feeling about him, and I thought he was a straight shooter. We were going off faith that he was going to do what he said, but the place was not ready.
When did you find this out?
When we walked through.
What date was that?
This was in April.
But I guess my question is, when did you come to the conclusion in your mind that the place could not be ready by the date you're supposed to move in?
By the 23rd.
The place was ready. I mean,
Oh,
the
so
only
it
thing
was
other
ready
than
to be moved
other than
in?
the electric, and then all the inspector has to do is just walk through the property. That's it.
When were you planning on
gonna
getting it
inspected
inspected?
It was going to be inspected on the 27th. They just walked through the property. That's all
And
they
so
did.
they're supposed to take your word that it would pass inspection?
Well, if it wouldn't
and
have
it would be ready to move in
If
a
it
few
would-
days later?
If it would not have passed inspection, I would have gave them back their money.
House habitable?
The place is not ready.
It's not ready.
The place is ready.
Were you still working in there with
A
the ladders?
ladder in the window means the place
I'm
isn't
just
ready.
asking. I'm just asking. Were you still working in it as of a few days ago?
And lady.
We got in a big argument, and I guess I said I was going to kill her boyfriend or whatever.
Excuse me?
Plaintiffs James and Carlette Smith say when the time came to move into the rental home, Keith didn't have it ready. They're suing for the return of a deposit. Defendant Keith Mack Jr. says the Smiths didn't give him enough time to make the proper repairs, and the deposit was non-refundable.
Is the house ready now?
Oh, yeah.
What's happened? Someone's living there?
I've got people that are moving in on next month. So,
Let me
yeah,
see
it's
the-
ready. Yeah, I mean, I've got a picture of the home if you want to see what the home looks like. I mean, it's not a dilapidated.
You
I
have
could
people
show-
moving in when?
I have people moving in about 2 weeks.
Let me see your photos.
That is the photo that I just took a few days ago. That's the side of the house. I
There's
don't know
no
if you-
bricks up there on my porch.
I just
like
took that picture a few days ago.
What is it, sir?
That is the lockbox that's on there. As I was looking through the front door, I still seen carpet on the floor not put down, ladders in the back.
And you say this was just a few days
That is
ago?
in the back room where his ladders put up because they're still working back there. The place is not ready.
It's not ready.
The place is ready.
When did you say you took this photo?
A few days ago.
Okay.
Before
Were
I
you
came.
still working in there with
A
the
ladder
ladders?
in the window means the place
I'm
isn't
just
ready.
asking. I'm just asking.
You
Were
know
you
what I
still
mean?
working in it as of a few days ago?
The people didn't like the color in the back room, so I changed the color on the walls.
Okay.
I mean, the place, other than livable, you could go live there right now with no problem.
So, what do you say your damages were from this week that they, from this week time period, when you say they gave you $850, then they changed their mind. How were you damaged during that time period?
I was damaged by the fact that I blew off potential. I had 2 other tenants that wanted to rent the place and lease it.
Do you have proof of that?
No, I don't.
Here's my concern. First, in your state, security deposits are refundable by law, okay? Under the law, a security deposit is the tenant's property. There are only 3 reasons that you can keep all or part of a security deposit. One of them being for unpaid rent. That's not the issue in this case. The second being damage to the property, which we don't have in this case. The third is a breach in the agreement, which is where I think your argument comes in. You're saying because they breached the agreement, you were damaged. They changed their mind about leasing the property within a matter of days. They said it was 4 days. In your answer, you said it was 4 days to a week. Today, you say it's a week to a week and a half. But during that time period, it's clear that you were still working on the home.
Well, they weren't to move in yet. They weren't.
Hold on a second, sir.
Okay.
You were still working on the home during that 4-day time period. So it's not as if someone could move in right away during that time period. Secondly, I don't find it to be credible that during that 4 to week long time period, you completely lost out on other tenants and were not able to lease to other tenants as a result of the week that you had their security deposit. And the other thing that concerns me is the fact that the home had not passed inspection and you have their security deposit. They're basically taking a chance that the home would pass inspection only a couple of days before they were supposed to move in. And if you're a family, to me, that is a very credible reason for someone to say this isn't going to work out for me. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. I'm ordering you to return the security deposit, $850.
I got 5 children and we gotta have a roof. So I'm very pleased with the outcome.
Well, I've learned that the deposit is a refundable deposit and that it has to be given back.
Barron says while he was out of town, the defendant began an affair that ended their 10-year relationship. He's suing for the value of his personal belongings. Defendant Ina Wells says she doesn't know because it was clear years ago that their relationship was over and Paul's belongings were returned to him.
Paul Barron?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Ina Wells?
Yes, ma'am.
For $6,336, the value of your personal belongings you say she has.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't we start from the beginning, sir? How do you know Miss Wells?
We met approximately in 2004 and started a relationship. And
Okay, so this is your former girlfriend?
yes.
How long did the two of you date, ma'am?
I met him when I was 14, got reacquainted with him again in 2004 in Durango, 10 years.
10 years?
Yep.
Did the two of you live together during
Yep.
that time period? Did you share a home together?
Yes.
Okay, when did your relationship end with the plaintiff?
As far as I was concerned, when I told him it ended was October. He finally decided to leave in February
What do you mean
of
by that?
2015. We were done. I had spent a year doing everything but tattooing. I need attention on your forehead. He didn't notice that I went from 189 to 142. If he ain't gonna notice, somebody else will.
And so in October, you told him the relationship was over. Whose house was this you were living in? It was your house? So you moved into her house?
No, we are renting
You rented a home. Why do you say it was yours?
because it was in my name because I have children.
Okay, so how many people were living there at the time?
Me and him actually, because my son went to go live with his aunt in Colorado.
Okay, was your name on the lease, sir?
No, ma'am.
Who was paying the rent?
I paid all the rent and all the bills.
Is that true?
Not all the bills, no.
But he paid the rent?
Yes, he paid the rent.
Your name was on the lease, he was paying the rent, so this was clearly a place the two of you were sharing together.
Oh, yes.
But was the agreement in October of 2014 when you told him it was over, was the agreement that he would move out?
No, ma'am, there was no agreement. I was told this was his house and he was gonna stay.
So that's why he didn't leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Until February of 2015?
Yes.
What happened? Why'd you move out then?
I was escorted out by the cops and put under arrest.
Why? I think you skipped a big part of that
Right.
story. The cops just don't show up and arrest you. What happened?
No. What happened then was we finally got into our last argument and supposedly I said something.
So in September, start with September.
She was having an affair with another man.
What led you to believe that?
I could feel it in my heart, and I live in a small town. People were talking, I don't care what they talked, is what I felt.
Was it true?
That I was having an affair?
Yes.
A verbal one at that point.
I'm sorry?
A verbal one at that point. I wanted to sleep with him. I tried everything I could. He wouldn't do it till February.
You mean you were having an emotional affair, but there had it not escalated to a physical relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
But Faith, man drama makes matters worse.
Did you not go in the house, sir?
She would not let me in the house.
I know you're upset. I know you're angry, and I know you're hurt, because that's when I get these cases.
Plaintiff Paul Barron says an affair ended his 10-year relationship with Ina. He's suing for the value of his personal belongings. Defendant Ina Wells says she doesn't know because she returned her ex-boyfriend's personal belongings.
The man that I was trying to have an affair with
were trying to have an affair.
would not be with me while I was still in a relationship with Paul.
Oh, so you were ready for it to escalate, but the person you were having the affair with, said no because he knew you were in a relationship with him. So you find out that she is having an affair.
So what do? We got in a big argument, and I guess I said I was going to kill her boyfriend or whatever.
Excuse me?
I guess I said I was going to kill her boyfriend.
You said. Did you not say you were going to kill her boyfriend?
Not in those words, no.
Sir, those were the words you just told me.
Yeah.
So you told her you were going to kill her boyfriend. Now I know why the police showed up.
That's why they showed up.
That's why.
Yeah.
When you threaten to kill someone, usually
police
they will show up, won't they, Walt?
And that was hearsay. The charges have been dropped on that.
It was hearsay. You just said it. I just heard what you said. So if that's hearsay, then I guess so. Sir, you might be rethinking it, and you may be trying to talk around it, but according to your own testimony, that's what you said.
Well, if I said it, I said it. You know, it's.
You're arguing with yourself now?
No, I'm not arguing with myself. I'm just telling you why I was put in jail.
So you were arrested. What happened to the criminal case?
It was dropped down to a disorderly misdemeanor.
Was there an order of protection put in place?
There's a no contact order, yes, ma'am.
So there is a restraining order?
No contact order, yes, ma'am.
Between the plaintiff and your boyfriend, and you say you're a part of it as well?
Yes.
Tell me about the threat that he made against your boyfriend's life. Was that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, what did he say? What happened?
Friday night, we had an argument, went over Sunday to get my clothes for work, and he says, I hope you're not there when I go to kill him. He's threatened to kill me many times, I'm not even worried. But that look he had that day was worrisome.
You threatened to kill her too, sir?
I've never threatened to kill her.
So are you saying that these were not words you actually meant, that you were just upset and angry when you said it?
Yeah, I've been with her for 10 years. Yeah, I cared about her, okay?
The police show up, they arrest you, and at this point, you now have to move out of the apartment, correct?
Yes, I was taken to jail.
How many days did you spend in jail?
I was released the next morning.
You then have to move out of the apartment. You are suing, sir, for $6,336, the value of your personal belongings. You say she still has in the apartment, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so usually how this works is they give you a police escort, they take you back over to the home, and you get your things out of the home and go your separate way. Did that happen?
I went there with the police. She had set up a time to do it. She left some boxes of some old clothes that I had and one of the new TVs that I bought on the front porch. That was it.
Did you not go in the house, sir?
She would not let me in the house.
Were the police with you?
Yes.
Did you tell the police she won't let me in the house, my things are still in the house?
There's nothing they could do about it.
Okay, there is something that they can do about it. So what date was that, sir?
It would have been February 10th, 2015.
Did you keep a lot of his items inside of the home?
No, ma'am, I did not.
When two people live together for 10 years, how are you going to prove to me that these were not items that the two of you shared as a couple in this household?
Yes, we shared them. I paid for them. She never contributed no money.
Okay. Is that true?
Oh, no. Every tax season, he never filed his taxes. 10 years. All mine.
What are you saying?
The couch was a gift Mother's Day. It was also bought on sale from the same place that the box spring bed was.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to come into court and say one thing about the furniture and the property. She's going to say something else.
Right.
And it's property that the two of you have accumulated over the course of 10 years. And you want me to decide who paid for what and when and divide up the property. This isn't divorce court.
All right.
You have to come in and show me proof. And the fact is, when couples live together, they share a home together, they share a bed together, it's really hard for you then to come into court and say, well, Judge, in fact, now that we've broken up, this stuff was mine. I know you're upset. I know you're angry, and I know you're hurt, because that's when I get these cases. Because she cheated on you, she had an affair, in your mind, she's still with her little boy toy. and you're upset about it.
I'm not
and you're
upset about
saying,
it, no.
I want my stuff. Oh yeah, you are. So much so that you threatened him and went to jail for it. You have to go back because your first, instead of suing civilly, your first remedy in this case is to go back to the police and say, I have a right, according to this stay away order, to go and retrieve my property. And you should have done this right away. The first time I went to do that, it did not, she left things out for me, but there are other things in the house that belong to me.
Yes.
And I would like, here's the list of my items. I would like to go back with a police escort at a time where she's not there, where her boyfriend's not there, and collect my items. You take those items, I'm gonna give you the list. The items that you agree on, you take those items and you set those items out for him. If and only then, sir, if there is still a dispute, that she is not giving you some of these items on this list that rightfully belong to you, then you go to civil court. But I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to win your case because you're not going to be able to prove that in the course of 10 years that these items exclusively belong to you and that they were not your items that you shared as a couple.
I just bought them less than a year ago, brand new.
So then get those receipts and get them together because if she does not, I'm going to give her a copy of this list. I want this to happen. I want the two of you to set this up within the next 48 hours. You understand? If there are things that are still in dispute after that and you can prove your case with receipts, you purchased these items and they did not belong to you as a couple, then you can bring the lawsuit again. Case is dismissed without prejudice.
I feel Judge Faith's ruling was right on. He can have everything but the washer and the dryer.
Questioning her daughter's choices brings her to court.
I didn't want her to be a teenage mom. And she looked me square in the face and said, Mom, I promise I won't be like that. I come to find out that she not only lied to me, but she hid the fact that she was 7 months pregnant already.
The first thing she said is, you're a disappointment. So for me, I already don't have a father. This is the only parent that I'm close to. It's very hurtful for me.
You should look at her, this future business accountant who's going to make a difference in this world while she's raising these two kids. That's how you should see her.
Plaintiff Jacqueline Durham says she gave her daughter a loan to avoid eviction, and now she's refusing to pay back the money. She's suing for a loan and various items. Defendant Jennifer Sanders says she doesn't owe because the money her mom gave her for the rent was actually child support meant for her. She's accompanied in court today by Xavier Dickinson.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Durham versus Sanders.
Thank you, Juan. Jacqueline Durham?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Jennifer Sanders?
Yes.
For $5,208 for a loan and various items you say you purchased for the defendant?
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
I'm suing my daughter, Jennifer. I love her very much, but I feel like I've been taken advantage of. And we've had a difficult relationship as of late.
In what way?
She asked to borrow this money. And I did. I loaned it to her, and it was supposed to be paid back to me. And
the $3,000?
The $3,000, all of it actually. It was supposed to be paid back to me, but it just caused more problems than good as of late.
Okay, so let's back up for a second. Why did she come to you and ask you for money? What was going on?
She had to move. And I knew she had to move. She called me and asked me if she could stay with me, move in with me. And because our relationship is not that good, I didn't think it was a good idea for her to move in with me.
Why you say your relationship wasn't that good at the time?
Because I didn't want her to be a teenage mom. And that actually broke my heart. I asked her to at least graduate college, travel, be young, be a teenager. And she looked me square in the face and said, Mom, I promise I won't be like that. That's not what I envisioned for myself. No later than a year later, I come to find out that she not only lied to me, but she hid the fact that she was 7 months pregnant already.
How old was she at the time?
17, and that broke my heart. She didn't outright tell me. Everybody around me knew but me.
Why do you want to tell your mom?
When she found out that I was pregnant, she asked me, she said, what are the baby clothes for? And I let her know then, I'm pregnant.
You were 7 months at the time?
I was around 6.5 months, but it was still far along because I didn't find out until I was almost 4 months. The first thing she said is, you're a disappointment. So for me, I already don't have a father. This is the only parent that I'm close to. It was hurt. It was very hurtful for me. You know, I still graduated high school with a 3.0 GPA. Still went out and got accepted into college. Still allowed my life to go on. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we just stopped it all together.
But did at some point she get over that initial disappointment and the two of you became close again? Or do you feel like it changed your relationship forever?
It definitely changed it forever. I mean, we tried to manage, you know, a relationship because you could tell how, I could understand how hurt she was, but in the same instincts, I can't take my daughter back.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, well, what do? Do I let my mother be mad at me? Or do I let my child be mad at me? My child is more important. You get what I'm saying? So our relationship was strained from that point.
Coming up, it deepens.
She called me, well, where's the money? Where's my money? And I'm like, well, I can't get a hello, or hey, how you doing? How are the children? What's going on? Are you sick? Are you feeling good? She called me like 10 times a day.
I check in on you when you got my money.
You understand?
So is this really about the fact that you are still holding a grudge? Because I feel you're not telling me exactly what's going on here.
Jacqueline Durham says her daughter is refusing to pay back the money she borrowed. She's suing for a loan and various items. Defendant Jennifer Sanders says she doesn't owe because the money was child support originally meant for her.
But what do you say about the fact that at this point, although you had the conversation, it happened, she got pregnant at 16 years old, but then according to your daughter, she felt like you treated her different. Okay.
I did. I can honestly say I did, Your Honor. I did.
Okay.
I did, but I also accepted her daughter. I was also there when she had her daughter.
You've had another child since then? Okay, how old were you the second time you had
20.
a child? You lived at home during this time period?
Well, I only stayed with her for a short amount of time because we continued to have disagreement. So 1 week or 2 weeks out of the month, I would go and stay with him. So it was always when I leave out for 2 weeks, it's, can you stay another week? Well, how long are you gonna be gone this time? So eventually, we just moved out.
So you didn't really want them there?
She wasn't paying any bills. She wasn't giving me money on anything. I mean, I can't get something on the water bill, cable bill. When you live with somebody else, contribute to some of the stuff that you use.
So because she wasn't contributing to the household, so you thought it was best for her to find another place. So what happens? You eventually do move out on your own.
Yeah, so I didn't move out until the following year. I got my own place, let it be, you know, and that was pretty much.
Were you working?
Yeah, I was working at that time. Over a course of, I want to say about 9 or 10 months in, I was transitioning from one job to another job, with the impression that this job pays more, but the way they paid out was differently. So I'm used to being paid hourly or salary. Well, this job was prorated. So I'm getting paid a higher amount, but everything is prorated. So it wasn't covering my monthly expenses. Bills started to fall behind. You know, eventually I began to go through an eviction. So I asked her.
Eviction from where?
From my own apartment, my own personal apartment. So my first impression was to ask my mom, but we weren't on the same page. The whole time I probably stayed in my apartment, she came over twice.
Why was that?
We didn't have a good connection. When I had a housewarming party or any type of events or a cookout or, you know, just a family thing, she just never came.
So now she has her own place and she is living on her own. What was the problem then?
There wasn't a real problem. I just didn't feel welcome. And
Why is that?
I felt like if I drove an hour, she stayed an hour away.
So she's an hour away at this point. And so the reason is you didn't want to drive that far.
And I just didn't want to be bothered with the drama because it was always.
Your Honor, I stayed 25 minutes away.
It was always drama.
You were 25 minutes away?
25 minutes away.
Was she 25 minutes away or an hour away?
Your Honor.
It's 25 minutes.
Well, where are you from?
Atlanta.
And where were you living?
I was living in East Point.
And
East
I
Point.
live downtown Atlanta.
And that's 25 minutes away with traffic.
East Point is not an hour away. That's about 20 miles outside of Atlanta.
So it wasn't
Your Honor,
that far.
that's a great point.
Are you driving 15 miles an hour to get there?
No, I actually, you know what?
Okay, what you say you didn't want to drive, you didn't want to deal with the drama. What drama?
Because I felt like any time she invited me to come, it was to bring something, or it was to buy her something. You know, can you stop by the store and buy tissue? Or if you come to visit this weekend, can you bring?
I mean, I don't call that drama. I mean, so she's asking for tissue or maybe diapers or something like that. You can say, I don't have the money right now. This is not a good time, but I still want to see you and my grandchildren. Is that not an option? So is this really about the fact that you are still holding a grudge? Because I feel you're not telling me exactly what's going on here.
It is.
I have families in here all the time.
Yeah.
And when I hear the word drama, usually it involves she has an attitude. She's cursing me out. She's doing this. I'm not hearing any of that. You say she wanted me to bring tissue.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Was the money a loan or a gift?
And I thought about it and I said, well, this is child support. I'm a child. That's the parent. She's supposed to support.
It was rearages from 1990.
Let me explain something about child support to you. I like your analysis. I could see how you came up with that. But that's not the way child support 3 years at this point.
Yes.
And so she calls you and she has a conversation with you. I need a place to stay for a few months. Why did you tell her no?
Jen feels like she can run my house too. She talks crazy to me. Attitude is disgusting. You know, just because you grown and got your kids don't mean that you can run me too. I'm sorry. No.
That's not true.
No.
I don't have a negative attitude. I just don't like negativity. And I'm not the one to argue in front of my children. They don't need to be around all the fussing and cussing and fighting. I grew up with that. They don't need to grow up with that. You know what I'm saying? So from a parental standpoint, I'm gonna leave. So I spoke to my sister. She let me know that my mom was getting some money. I asked her, you know, I called my mom and I said, well, since we can't come live with you, I have another apartment on my name. I did go out and look at a place, but of course the deposit is going to be higher.
So you asked her for $3,000?
Yes, for that.
And you told her you would pay that $3,000 back?
Yeah, I told her that I was going to pay it
Did
back
you do
because I'm in
that?
school as well. I did not pay it back.
And did you have a conversation with her? Because you'd already told her you would pay her
Correct.
back.
I told her I would pay it back. When we originally agreed upon it, it was once I received my refund from school, I was going to give her the money back for it.
Okay.
So when we had the discussion, she called me, well, where's the money? Where's my money? And I'm like, well, I can't get a hello, a hey, how you doing? How are the children? What's going on? Are you sick? Are you feeling good? Couldn't get any of that. So I just went ahead and said, well, I spent it. I went out and purchased a vehicle. So as speaking to now his father, first thing he says is, well, you can't continue to not have a vehicle to get around. I have 2 children at this point.
And you were working and going to school?
Correct.
Where were you in school?
In Georgia State.
Major?
Is accounting and business.
And you're still there now?
I'm still there now.
And so you got your refund check from school.
Correct.
And you used that to buy a car.
Correct. After speaking with my sibling, and she was like, well, you know, she got the money back from child support. So I went out and purchased a vehicle, and then I thought about it, and I said, well, this is child support. I'm a child. That's the parent. She's supposed to support. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, thinking about it, it's
I see your analysis.
You get what I'm saying? It's like,
I don't know if it's right, but I do understand your analysis. So you got a lump sum from child support. What happened?
It was rearages from 1990. There was a lump sum and they gave it to me, so it was unexpected money. It's
How
not
much
like
money did you get?
It was $43.11.
And did you have plans for this money?
No, because I didn't have plans for it because I didn't expect it.
Okay.
So when I got it, it was like, hey, jackpot, right? And so when she called me, she said, you know, Mom, I'm in trouble. I need, you know, this, that, and the other. Can you help me out? She said, I get my school money back. I'll be able to pay it back to you. I just need some help.
Okay, and that's when you gave her the $3,000.
It was just luck of the draw. I had it available when she called, and that's when I went to the bank. I withdrew the money. And I mean, it was a great day. We went out, we went looking for furniture, we shopped, and we had a good time. Everything was good until I asked for my money back. When I asked for my money back, I can't find
Your
you.
Honor, I can't get her to call me just to check in on me, but she called me like 10 times a day.
I checked in on you when you got my money.
It got to the point where my oldest daughter's birthday was coming up. She was turning 4. She just pops up.
But Your Honor,
I stay an hour away, Your Honor. But now she found her way.
Your Honor,
Your Honor, she found her way to the front door.
You knew how to find her about the money.
But it was her birthday. You know, it was the baby's birthday.
You were showing up for the party?
And I did. I showed up.
And so what was the first thing you said to her when you saw her at the party?
She didn't say anything because Zay played quarterback. He, you know what I mean, blocker.
That's
He
right.
blocked. He stayed in between us and you know, don't start nothing up in here.
He did a good job.
And it was nothing like that.
But they all thought you were coming to ask about the money.
Right.
She was.
But no, I didn't even approach her.
Because
I didn't approach her about the
Xavier was there. If he wasn't there,
Your Honor,
I guarantee
Your Honor, look at me.
she would have been right there at the
Your
front
Honor,
door.
look at me. I could take Zay if I wanted to. If I wanted to get to her.
Step up for a second. You are 21 years old? How old are you?
22.
22. Okay, you the two of you have 2 kids together?
Yes.
And how old is the youngest?
2.
2 years old. Okay, you're not ready to have any more kids.
No.
Nah.
So you're not financially able to continue to have kids. So until you're ready and able to take care of them and yourselves, do what you need to do to not let this happen again. have to say, I've been observing your daughter. I not only listen to testimony, but I make observations about people and credibility assessments every time someone walks in this courtroom. And I've heard a lot of your testimony today about the attitude and the reasons why the two of you weren't on good terms. And I never really felt like I got anything concrete as to why there would be this breakdown in your relationship, other than her life didn't go the way you planned it to go. And I have to tell you, you did something right, because this young lady, for 21 years old, her maturity level is certainly beyond her years, and she's a hard worker, and she's in school, and I mean, I just see someone with a lot of potential. And I hope, and I hope that you can find it in yourself to look at her and have pride in what she's accomplished, despite the obstacles and the challenges that she's faced, and not always look at her as this 16-year-old teenage daughter that got pregnant. That's in the past now. That happened. So now you should look at her, this 21-year-old college student, future business accountant who's going to make a difference in this world while she's raising these two kids. That's how you should see her. But let me explain something about child support to you. I like your analysis. I could see how you came up with that. But that's not the way child support works. You don't get to dictate how a parent uses child support, especially when they get it in arrears, because that means that your father didn't pay child support to help take care of you when you were a child, and the burden fell on your mother entirely. So that money that she used, she's just getting some of that money back. So you told your mother that you would pay her back for the loan, and you're going to have to. And so my job is to analyze the case and decide, despite the relationship the two of you have, whether or not this is a loan or a gift, and if it has to be repaid. And based on the testimony today, it's no dispute that you promised to pay the money back. And I know you said you had other things you needed to do with the money, and this is your mother. And so you wanted her to help you out and just give it to you, but that wasn't the agreement initially. You agreed to pay it back. So you're going to have to do that. It's not going to be easy. I know this is another bill that you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to take your time, make some payments. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $3,000. Good luck to all of you.
I don't believe that we'll be able to have a better relationship after the show, because it's been strained for so long.
My relationship with my daughter, it'll get better. I figure this situation is ended. Maybe we can talk, and I can see my grandkids. I haven't seen my grandkids in a while, so hopefully I'll get a chance to see my grandkids and see where we go from there.
Newlyweds' wedding photos held hostage by the groomsmen.
Your Honor, there are no do-overs in this wedding. This is the one chance we had, and people are still waiting.
I was invited to the wedding. There was no hiring, there was no contract.
You offered to take photos at their wedding, and you told them that the other photographers were substandard.
And laid over the condition of a car.
Her boyfriend was cutting the grass on a riding mower, and he came to me and said, I scratched your car, but it's not really bad. And he smiled.
But when I got those estimates for $800 or $900, I'm like, oh no.
Just because the car is beat up doesn't mean it's okay for anyone to come and scratch it up even further.
Plaintiffs Sina and Donald Gurdon say their groomsmen offered to take professional photographs at their wedding, but still hasn't delivered them. They are suing for a refund and proper wedding photographs. Defendant Lawrence Weatherby says he doesn't owe any money because he was doing his friend a favor and they had no formal contract.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Gurdon and Gurdon versus Weatherby.
Thank you, Juan. Sina Gurdon and Donald Gurdon?
Yes.
Correct.
You were suing the defendant Lawrence Weatherby
Yes.
for $4,000 for the refund for photography work you paid him to do at your wedding.
Correct.
And other additional expenses?
Correct.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me what's going on here.
So I met Larry at work many years ago, and Larry's one of the groomsmen in our wedding, and he was helping me set up.
So he was a good friend of yours?
Yes. And he was helping me set up the day before our wedding, and we had hired a photographer. A little background on that, my sister had called us in April and said, did you have a photographer for the wedding? We said, no, we hadn't planned one yet. And she said, well, you know, I don't have a lot of money, but my wedding gift to you is if you could pay $300, I'll take care of the photographer for you. You won't have to worry about anything. So Cena and I agreed to that.
So the gift was you would pay $300 for the photographer, your sister would pay the rest.
Correct.
Which was, do you know how much the total was?
I don't.
We don't.
Okay, go ahead.
So as they were setting up their lighting, Larry had said to us, I don't want to make you nervous, but I can tell I'm a professional photographer. I can tell that they don't know how to shoot a wedding. I'll tell you what, I'll call my son. He'll come down, just pay us the same $300 that you pay them, and we'll take care of everything. We'll get you proofs, we'll get you albums. Don't worry.
So this was at the rehearsal dinner?
Correct.
Prior to the wedding, did you know that he took photos at all? Had you ever seen him with equipment?
Yes,
Okay.
and he's actually shot weddings. I've seen pictures of the weddings he's...
Prior to the wedding, you knew that?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Weatherby, you are a groomsman in the wedding.
Well, let's start out that Donald, as we first met, yes, we did truly meet at work.
Okay.
Okay, and about a week before the rehearsal dinner, Donald and Cena came over. Cena was quite upset because the photographers that they, had, her sister had hired. There were apparently a couple of kids, with a couple of cameras, and they were doing the photographs.
So they were rookies compared to your experience?
They were extreme rookies, yes, to say the least. Okay, I've been doing photography since I was 14 years old.
She tells you,
She's
I don't like
distraught
these
about her
photographers, I'm
photographer, and I
concerned
said-
about them.
And I say, okay, well, if you want, I'll take the pictures for you. There was nothing said about money.
You're saying they never paid you $300?
That's correct.
Who took the photos?
My son and I.
You both took
when
photos?
While I was in the wedding party, my son was taking pictures. When I wasn't required by the wedding party, I was taking pictures.
Who did you give the $300 to?
I gave it to Larry's son.
Was it cash?
Yes, it was in an envelope. And what we said was we didn't want to leave for the honeymoon and you not have the resources that you asked for to do what you need to do.
Did you get a receipt or any documentation that you paid him for photos?
No. But he
Okay.
took the envelope.
Did you have a conversation with your son about money at all?
No, I just, this is the first I've heard of it.
It's not the first you've heard of it, right? You've had conversations with them. This is
No,
2011.
we never talked. This is just outrageous to come up with a $4,000.
So what happened? Why are you suing for $4,000? Did you get the photos from the wedding?
So we received a DVD months later. I don't know, 8 months? I don't have the exact.
Who sent you the DVD?
We got it from Larry.
picked it up.
I
Okay.
brought it to the house.
And he said, take a look at the pictures and select the ones that you'd like printed.
It's great if they don't have his name on them and a blue mark around them that you can't take off.
May I see it?
See it? You didn't see the
I
photos?
haven't seen it, no.
But you sent them the DVD, right?
Yeah, I gave them the DVD.
You didn't look at the photos?
No, the same copies of what I sent the court when I attached my statement. If there was something like that was interfering with it.
You're Weatherby, right?
Yes, these are some of the proofs I did just to clear them up a little bit.
What do you mean to clear them up?
Well, I photoshopped them.
But these are the photos that they received.
Those were the photos they should not have received.
Did you ever look at the DVD, sir?
No, I did not.
Okay, let's just be real about it. Because you don't know what's on the DVD. You don't know whether or not your son received $300.
Yes, I know. However,
this is her wedding. Why is this not a big deal? To you?
It is a big deal.
But you never looked at the DVD of the photos that you sent to them.
I certainly reviewed all the photos.
May I see the DVD, please? Is this watermarked? Is
No,
the
it's
name
not
of the studio
watermarked.
on
That's
every
just-
photo that was submitted to you?
Every photo. And Your Honor, I have emails that I have copies of here, and there's a photo from May 4th, 2015. I've been emailing all the way since August of 2011. We were wondering if we could just get a gift with our wedding pictures and we just will take them the way they are to get copies. At this point, we're not concerned with touching them up.
Your Honor, I was in Houston for the month of May.
of this year?
Yes.
Okay, it's been 4 years, sir. Where were you the other 3.5 years?
Well, Your Honor, it's like this. When I set up to do all of the photos, I was having trouble financially. Okay, when I ran into financial trouble, I could not print the photos. I held the photos for as long as I could, hoping I would get enough finance so that I could do them for them. Okay, and I had thought I'd made that very clear
How
to
did
them.
you review the photos and not know that this border?
That doesn't show up on. It doesn't show on my computer.
This is odd. I want to take a look at this DVD.
Very good.
I want to take a look at this disc. We're in recess.
Coming up, is discovered.
Where's the original file? Not the disc. Where's the file with the photos?
I have since destroyed that file since that disc went out.
Are a classic or a clunker?
The value of the car is $1,100.
And I'm going to give her $900 for 2 scratches on the left passenger door, Your Honor?
Well, that's the amount of the estimate.
Is that going to repair the entire car?
Say Lawrence still hasn't given them their wedding pictures. They're suing for a refund and proper wedding photographs. Defendant Lawrence Weatherby says he doesn't owe any money because they had no formal contract.
Mr. Weatherby, you sent them this disc, right?
Yes, I did.
What were they supposed to be able to do with these photos?
They should have been able to print them.
Print them, okay.
Yes.
I looked at the disc, and can we pull one of the photos up? Because there's this very odd border on...
That's the border I used to review them when I sent, when on the computer and things.
That's on every photo, sir, along with
I
in
know,
the
but it can
corner,
be
Weatherby Studios. And you can perhaps crop that, but this border is on every photo.
I can remove that without any trouble at all. It says
So why didn't you? Why am I looking at
because
emails? Sir, why am I looking at emails over the course of 4 years asking about these photos if it's just as easy as you say it is to remove the border?
They never made me aware that they
That's
could
not
not
true, sir.
print them.
Your Honor, there are no do-overs in this wedding, none whatsoever. This was it. This was the one chance we had for our families and our friends, and some people aren't with us anymore. This was it, and people are still waiting.
Where's the original file? Not the disc. Where's the file with the photos?
I have since destroyed that file since that disc went out.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say I destroyed it. I have a hard drive that I use to cache all the files to, and that went down. So if I can ever retrieve the hard drive.
I'm perplexed because
because
of all the emails that you've received. This is your good friend. Why not just
I
get in your car?
didn't receive a bunch of emails about this.
Your son, right?
My son, yes.
Okay, what was the date of the wedding?
May 28th.
May 28th, my birthday, Your Honor.
Your birthday.
My birthday.
And why is that significant to you?
To me, because
Yeah.
it was my birthday.
It was their
usually
wedding
do
day.
things on my birthday.
You were hired.
No, I was invited to the wedding. There was no hiring. There was no contract.
You
no
offered,
contract in.
You offered to take photos at their wedding, and you told them that the other photographers were substandard. I believe that. Here's what we're going to do. As you know, there's no amount of money that can replace what you feel are the memories you've lost as a result of not having adequate wedding photos. But here's what I am going to do. I'm going to order you, sir, to return the $300 I believe they paid your son for these photos that you and your son took together. I'm also going to order you to pay $300 for the other photographers they paid that did not get the right photos because you and your son were there taking photos that they ended up not being able to use. In addition, I'm going to order the defendant to pay you the $200 you've spent trying to get these photos printed without the watermark and without the frames. It's over 1,000 photos, and you've submitted proof of that. Finally, I'm going to order the defendant to pay you $1,000. The cost that, according to the estimate you've submitted to the court, to try to recreate some of these photos and repair some of the photos without the frames and without the watermarks, and because of the volume being over 1,000 photos, it is a lot of work. So that's my total judgment in your favor in the amount of $1,800. I know it's not everything you asked for, but I do hope that it's something that you can use to try to replicate these photos. Judgment, in this case, for the plaintiffs in the amount of $1,800. Good luck.
I really am heartbroken, and I wish, to know that the hard drive was destroyed.
Who destroys a hard drive?
I don't know.
I'm just done taking pictures of weddings.
Plaintiff Diane Jackson says her cousin's boyfriend crashed a riding lawnmower into her car and now is refusing to pay. She's suing for the cost to repair her vehicle. Defendant Lillian Moore says she offered to pay for the damage caused by the riding lawnmower accident, but is refusing to cover the costs to repair the pre-existing damage on the vehicle.
Diane Jackson?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Lillian Moore?
Yes.
For $1,000 for cost to repair your vehicle?
Yes, I am.
So I understand that the date of this incident, you say that your car was damaged while it was at her house. What kind of car do you have?
I have a 97 Honda Accord.
Tell me what happened. What were you over at her house doing that day?
I was helping her with some chores, rearranging in her kitchen. Her boyfriend was cutting the grass on her riding mower. And he came to me and said, I scratched your car, but it's not really bad. And he smiled, so I didn't think much of it. Okay. But later on, when I took a break to go smoke a cigarette, I went outside and I saw the damage.
Was it a small?
No, it's not a small. I have a picture.
Let me see the photo.
It's not a small damage at all.
Are you friends with her boyfriend too, or do you just know him through her?
I just know him through her.
Okay. Oh, that's not small at all.
You're right, Your Honor.
No, you're not talking about the rust above the wheel, but the two scratches? He told you that it was small and he could buff it out?
Yes, he did.
So what did you do when you saw this on your car?
Well, I called her out.
How did he do that? The entire riding mower hit the car?
That's what he explained to me. I guess the handle of the mower hit the car.
Okay, what do you have to say?
My lawnmower has a catch-all on the back, and he told me he misgauged, and he scratched the car. And like she said, he came in and said it was some minor scratches.
But why are you here and he isn't?
Well, he has been ill, and he's unable to travel. And he was riding my lawnmower, and he was cutting my grass. So I tried to work with Diane on...
But do you consider those scratches to be minor?
Judge, did you see the car?
The court decides if the hoopty can be helped.
You think just because it's an old car, she should look over these two scratches because it has rust and other things going on. These two scratches aren't anything significant, or they shouldn't be.
Absolutely. That's exactly how I feel.
Says her cousin's boyfriend damaged her car and now is refusing to pay. She's suing for the cost to repair her vehicle. Defendant Lillian Moore says she doesn't know because the car was already in terrible condition when the accident occurred.
Just because the car is beat up doesn't mean it's okay for anyone to come and scratch it up even further.
You're right about that.
Even if it's an old car. And I'm not saying your car is beat up, I don't know that, but even if it's an older car, it's her car. She likes her car.
Exactly, Your Honor, but considering the condition of the car overall, for me to give her $1,000, ask her what she paid for the car.
It's her car and someone damaged her car. May I see the estimate, please?
Yes. You're absolutely right, Your Honor. And I offered her $1 or $2, but
why should she?
Look at the car.
Oh, you were generous. See. Now you just being cold. You're being cold. Why hasn't your boyfriend paid for this?
Well, I took responsibility since it was my lawnmower, since it was at my house. But when I got those estimates for $800 or $900, I'm like, oh no, it just was not gonna happen.
The value of the car is $1,100.
And I'm gonna give her $900 for 2 scratches on the left passenger door, Your Honor?
Well, that's the amount of the estimate.
Is that gonna repair the entire car?
Maybe she doesn't want to get the rest of the car repaired. There are 2 scratches. There are 2 scratches that she wants to get repaired.
Right.
She didn't ask you to repair the rest of the car, just the 2 scratches that she didn't have when she went over. She drove over to your house that day to help out, but when she left, she had 2 long scratches on the side that she didn't have when she showed up at your house that day. That's all she's asking about. Is he still your boyfriend?
Yes.
Why hasn't he given any money?
He has none to give. It's my lawnmower, it was my house, it was my yard.
He's out, it's in the middle of summer, it's hot, he's riding the mow. So he can get around, he's well enough, and why hasn't he paid this if he did it?
Because I took the responsibility for it.
Okay, so the reason you haven't paid it, but then you said you offered her $1 or $2. Do you think that's reasonable?
When she came with the estimates, I was floored. $900, absolutely not.
What do you think the value of these scratches? What do you think you should pay her?
You don't want me to tell you that. A few dollars.
And so you understand that that's not really, that doesn't help her. She can't do anything with that. But you think just because it's an old car, she should look over these 2 scratches because it has rust and other things going on. These 2 scratches aren't anything significant, or they shouldn't be.
Absolutely. That's exactly how I feel.
Submitted a few estimates for the damages to your vehicle, and I'm going to take the estimate, the number in the middle of those 3 estimates. Well, here's what happens here. She's not the responsible party. She said that she would pay for the damages just as a nice gesture, although she only said it was worth a couple of dollars in the end. However, the person who actually hit your car, that's the person who is legally responsible. Just because she came in at the end of the day and said, I'll pay for it, doesn't make her legally bound to do so. That was just a nice gesture from your first cousin, but I don't know how genuine that was at the end of the day, given that you were only willing to pay a couple of dollars. However, here's what I'm going to do. I have an affidavit from her boyfriend outlining how this incident happened. And he admits that he did hit your car and did cause the damage that you showed in the photos. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter a judgment in your favor in the amount of $807 plus court costs. I'm dismissing the case against you. I'm allowing you an opportunity to amend your complaint to sue the right person, which is her boyfriend. Once I receive a copy of that amended complaint, I'll enter a judgment in your favor, $807 plus court costs. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. The judge's ruling was very fair.
I'm still gonna love my cousin. I'm just gonna understand that whenever there's a disagreement, she's gonna sue me.